Hello.
Hello, good
Our
morning.
intro was not working, but whatever. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome everyone to the commentary zone. How are you today, Jamal?
Good. This episode was very interesting. At least in my opinion, I was like, it made me kind of look at you like, really? Okay, this is an interesting dynamic between Kody, Robyn, and Mary. So this should be interesting.
I didn't find this episode interesting at all. And it was because of Kody, Robyn, and Mary.
Well, to me the episode was centered around them, so I had to
Mm-hmm.
find I had to look inside this interesting little trio.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it came across to me is Kody be doing the most without doing anything, and it's just weird how he can accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you're gonna probably do your recap in a minute, but
Mm-hmm.
what killed me was the fact when he was talking about their old dog Drake, and then he was in this, I guess, his confessional, and
Mm-hmm.
he did that like whole look up to the sky and just he like, I'm like, oh no. No, a little dramatic, Kody. A little dramatic. I understand people like dogs are like children, but you have like 20 kids, so I don't think that really applies in this case. You can love your animals, I love animals too, but I just felt he was putting it on for the camera in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
which made me look at him like kind of side eye the rest of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Especially when he like towards the end where he started all that cursing and everything.
Right.
I thought it was just weird and unnecessary. But then again, I think Kody himself is weird and unnecessary. But yeah, let's do the little summary. We saw that Mariah and Audrey have a big announcement. Christine got an offer that she can't resist. Robyn tries to mediate between Kody and Mary. And then everything seems to be still up in the air regarding Coyote Pass. So the episode opens up with Mariah and her fiance Audrey, who live in Chicago, where they're both working and going to school. They come back to Flagstaff to visit because they have a big announcement. The whole family comes over with the exception of Kody and Chanel, who are away that day. They're out of town. So, what did you think about them moving back to Salt Lake City?
I think it's good for them because I feel like if it's not working for both of you, then it's not working for either of you. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that the fact that they're moving back, I just like their dynamic. I like the couple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they seem very level headed and very
Mm-hmm.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
They want to be near their family, specifically for the fiance. Is it wife or fiance? Fiance, because they're not married
Fiance,
yet. I
yeah.
recall
Yeah, because
fiance.
they're planning to get married in a year
Married.
and a half. Yeah.
Right. Because they're talking about, we want to get married in the mountains. We miss our family, this, and that. And they're like, well, why not just move back? I'm like, good idea. And they just talked it out and decided to move. And I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. And Mary's daughter has a great relationship with all her siblings. They seem to adore her. And, the family itself adores her because you can see, Christine actually smile
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and give her a big hug. I'm like, wow, I
Well,
think this could be good for
don't
them.
forget, don't forget, Christine is really close with all of these kids, no matter who the
Hmm.
mother is, because she used to be the babysitter, quite honestly. Like,
Hmm.
it was one of these kids that had a secret that she told. Wait, it was Mariah, because didn't she tell Christine that she was gay before she told her mom?
Like I said, I've been in and out over the seasons, but I do recall something like that. And I was like, why didn't you tell your
They
mom?
do go to Christine a lot. Like, and even Janelle's daughter that was having both of her pregnancies, like she had Christine in there with her. Remember, like when the first
Hmm.
time when she was giving birth in the bathtub, Christine was there. Then the second time when
Hmm.
she had the little girl just now, Christine flew out to North Carolina to be with
Mm.
them.
True.
Like they have like all of these kids, no matter the mom, have a really, really strong bond with Christine. Um, and I find it like these women cannot get along with each other on a consistent basis. However, they have all managed to infuse a true sibling relationship with amongst all of the children, no matter who their mama is, which I find is admirable.
So do I. I mean, it's fantastic. So I was just that scene made me smile because they're moving back. I'm like, yay! I'm all for families moving closer together. If where you
Mm-hmm.
are is not working, like come back to home base. Like you could tell they were happier too. It was like even though you hadn't seen them on the show, you could tell that decision really just lifted a big weight off their shoulders.
Yeah, yeah, and it seems like it was coming at a breaking point for Audrey. She tried to stay as long as she could in Chicago for the sake of Mariah, but I think the pandemic might have been the thing that pushed her over the edge because of the social isolation,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yay. Both of them will be going back to Salt Lake City. Mariah will continue her studies at a university there. She
Mm-hmm.
said U of T, right? Or
No, no,
something. I don't know.
she's U of U, University of Utah.
Okay.
And look, this is interesting. Christine raised all of Janelle's children because Janelle always worked. That makes
Mhm,
sense. That makes
mhm.
total sense.
Yeah, I told you she was the baby. Well, I shouldn't say it, and it's not meant in a bad way. It was just the role that she played. She was the one that was always at home for all of the children. And, Christine worked, and Mary, I don't know, Mary was number one wife. I don't know. I don't have a real designation for Mary, but I know Christine had a designation because she said it at one point. She said that was my role. I had to be there for the kids.
And that's an important role
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Because
that's
it's
super
probably a
important.
large reason why all of these kids feel like full brother and sister.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so yay, they're going back. And I think that like Mary was very excited about that news too.
Oh yeah, you could just see Mary light up.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all actually smile. Y'all actually
Mm-hmm.
like show some like, you know, happiness. It's not all doom and gloom. I'm like, y'all need to come back. Just move on back. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Help the family
Mm-hmm.
out.
Okay, so then we have a family meeting, which they admit they haven't had a family meeting in a long time. Like, what is wrong with the Browns? I
But the
just
thing is
don't get
though,
it.
like Kody always mentions this, and that I think he mentions this last episode, like, in the plural marriage, like, the family is only as strong as the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And if Cody's the leader, like I don't really expect much more than this at this point. I just really don't.
Oh my God. So they have a family meeting at Christine's house. And this time, all the wives are there, plus Kody. And she announces that she got an offer on her Las Vegas home and she accepted it. Um, but it was a lot less than what they expected. And then Kody admits that they took huge losses on every single home in Las Vegas. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, that was. Here's my thing with that. How it's Vegas. How were you taking huge losses? I mean, I understand the market's a little down right now. I do understand that, but Vegas, like at one point, was kind of like really a good place to go to buy homes because of the
Mm-hmm.
prices. Like, what's your idea? Again, what's your idea of a huge loss, though? I need to see numbers. I need to see like numbers. And then, did you put any money into the homes? Is another thing.
Well, here's the thing. I wonder what their credit scores were like. We all know Robyn's was in the toilet. So basically, I'm assuming that they didn't get the best interest rates because of low credit
Right.
scores. So
Mhm.
basically, you're not paying anything down on your principal. You're just paying interest for the length of time that they've had these homes. So they had to put down a deposit. They haven't really paid anything towards the principal. I just think it was a loss overall. The houses were still in decent condition. I don't think they needed any major renovations because of the length of time owned, and they were new build. I would think they would make repairs because there's a lot of kids in there. And I think
Yeah.
that worked against them, because if they marketed the house as the homes of the sister wives, I would not want that home because 15 million people and cheering running through there. No, I'm just thinking that those houses are trashed. So that could have worked against them. And the longer a house sits on the market,
Hmm.
that shows me as a buyer, why isn't anybody snapping up this beautiful home? Something must be wrong with it. Next, you know.
I agree with
So,
Gina. Sorry, but
mhm,
I agree with Gina. They should have never moved from Vegas. I thought it was a
mhm,
great setup,
mhm.
perfect for
Which,
the family.
yeah, no, but it pissed me off when what's her name, Robyn, says she missed her Vegas home. Well, girl, you the reason why they had to move.
It, yeah,
Shut up. None of them other women wanted to move, but Kody said they all had to move because you needed to be near your son. Why
exactly.
he couldn't go to Las Vegas schools like everybody else
Like
could
everybody
do?
else. Gina says that those houses were in bad shape. They said as is. Oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
bad term.
Exactly. You never say as is.
Oh
When
dear.
you say what it is, when you say as is, what I would think is like this is a fixer upper, so I can lowball you.
I wonder if Mary's house was the first to go, because Mariah hardly lived there. She moved out soon after, and Mary was
Right.
rambling around that house all by herself.
Mary was chilling. You can't tell me
Yeah.
she was not chilling in the little cul-de-sac in her own self house, and
And
she could
Mary
do what
got
she
all the
want to do.
upgrades. When she bought that house, she wanted all the upgrades. Everybody was looking at Mary like, for who?
Yeah, when Robyn said that she missed um her Vegas home, I just really want to throw my phone at the screen. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
all your fault. What are you
Yep.
talking about?
Yeah.
Y'all had the perfect setup in Vegas.
Mhm.
Um, when I saw like when they did the wide picture, was it the last
Mhm.
episode where they showed like all the homes? I'm like,
Yep.
you guys left that
Yep.
to go to Arizona to be in rentals in
Scattered
woodland
all across
property.
the city.
Yeah, scattered everywhere.
Plus paying a mortgage on a piece of brush land out in the boonies. Uh,
And
No,
you got
no sense.
Christine got to commute to work, and then Cody he can't handle the driving to see his family because it's just too far for him. That's just too much work. He can't handle it.
But did
And
you notice that these wives are like, he goes for days without like being like, who's tracking Kody? Is he going to like somebody else's house?
right, and I don't understand how come like this is simple math. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me I'm
Mm,
wrong.
mm,
Typically, each month has 4 weeks. Typically,
mm.
this man has 4 wives. Why can't he stay 1 week at each house and just rotate?
Maybe that's not the agreement they have. Maybe like he goes every night. He like doing things the hard way. So
Apparently,
maybe.
and he got to get his Robin fix at probably every day. So that could be
Oh
another thing.
Lord. Oh my God. They had to pay to put the walls back in between the houses in order to sell those. Oh, well, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
Oh
that makes
my
sense.
God.
Just everything. They just did everything wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just
it
everything
was
wrong.
just weird. Just very, very weird. But
I blame the
Cody,
women. I'm sorry.
huh?
I blame the women for letting Cody be in charge. Sorry.
But that's how it's set up. He's supposed to be the leader of the troop.
Right, but when the leader's not doing what they're supposed to do, y'all should kind of have like a mini revolt or something, or just
I
find a
think
new
that's what's
husband.
happening now. I mean, it's taken a lot of hard lessons for the
Hmm.
women to actually speak up, because before it would always be, oh my God, look what Kody's doing. But now it's like, Kody, you dead wrong. No, I ain't doing that. My womb is closed. We're not having no more children. I'm not moving. I'm not living in a one house with all the rest of these heifers. Like, now they're coming out and being openly obstinate. And that's why I think he has resorted to just saying, I don't give a F. I'm an a-hole, and he's doing all of these like stupid little inflammatory statements as if that will make us give a toss either way.
True.
The ladies also bring up, now that, because I think Christine's house was the last one to be sold in the cul-de-sac, they also say, are we going to start Coyote Pass? And he's like, nope.
But the killing part is, didn't he say they didn't have enough money to start building?
Correct. They don't.
I was like,
because think about it, right? They had the Vegas houses, which the last one finally sold. It's been almost two years since they left Vegas. They've bought properties in Flagstaff that are way more expensive than what they were in Vegas. Plus, they bought the piece of land at Coyote Pass. Where are they supposed to have money to start building, as one wife put it, a subdivision? Because he wants to build 7 to 10 houses. What?
Yeah, I was like, where are you doing that, sir? Like, what? And when he said, what killed me when he first said, like, oh, we don't have, like, he said it like so kind of nonchalantly. He's like, oh, we don't have enough money to build. I'm like, excuse you? And then I thought about it, I'm like, if you took these losses on these houses and the cost of living and land and building is probably more expensive in Arizona, yes, sir, you don't have enough money.
Yep.
They might have enough money.
They can't even get another loan to start building.
No, they might only have enough money maybe to build 1.5 houses.
Well, I know they sure enough don't have money to do a house big enough for all of them to live in.
No.
They're just a mess. They're just a mess. And he is trying to divert the wives. I think his problem is that he's not owning up to his mistakes.
Yes.
And these women are still following blindly. Because if you had a sense in your head, Janelle, I blame you because you're the numbers person, you would have never asked that question, because you should have known that y'all don't even got lint in y'all pockets at this point.
No. Yeah, when she asked, I was like, ain't you the bookkeeper? I had a side-eye her too. I'm like, now I got side-eye you too. I'm already side-eyeing Kody, and now I got side-eye you too. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Because I'm just concerned for the simple fact that they moved to a more expensive place. They didn't move someplace where it's similar. Like, you can see it working. You don't know what you want to do. You bought land. I mean, that killed me. You bought land where you don't know what you're doing. You have no clue what you want to do, and you don't have the money to do it. So you have this land just sitting there that you can do nothing with.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there just amazed.
And then the internal strife, where everybody is going to be, like where their lot is going to be, the internal strife. And I was shocked because I don't remember this. When they were talking about the land and where people were going at the end, when it was the mediation thing, the other wives don't want Mary to have her lot by the pond because she might restrict access to the other wives. Really?
That was lame. I'm sorry.
I thought that as a plural family, like this was joint land. Yeah, I get it. You got to subdivide into plots if you're building separate houses. I get it. But I would never think that Mary or Christine or Janelle or Robyn would bar anybody from coming anywhere.
Right.
Like they didn't work like that when they were in the cul-de-sac. Why would they work like that at the Coyote Pass? I didn't get it.
I just think this is because they're all miserable. They're all mad at Kody. I think, and people may not like me for this, but that's okay. If you take Kody out the picture and replace him with somebody else, they will be much happier.
Let me tell you, I got a big red flag when he said, he just wants to stall all the wives so he could have some peace. He says that he might be the drama problem in the relationship and that he's so discouraged some days that he feel like he should sell it. Red flag.
Right.
Red flag. You was the one who wanted to buy that piece of land. How come now all of a sudden you want to sell it? Is it because you can't pay for it?
I mean, that would be a big problem if you have land can't pay for it. Yeah. Terrible.
How much you want to bet they never build?
I mean,
Quite
they're gonna drag this
honestly,
out. They're gonna drag this out for another season. I bet you.
let me tell you, they bought that piece of land when they were still getting the top salary from this show. Right
Right.
after they bought the land, the TLC slashed their salary to like lower than when they first started, I think. I think they are in major financial trouble.
Oh, you have to be. You have to be.
Mm-mm. Oh my God. Okay, so Robyn decides to ask Mary and Kody to meet over at the Coyote Pass because she wants to have a conversation to correct the misunderstanding from last season with regards to who's in the trees and who's by this and who's over yonder. Like, it was confusing to me last season. It didn't make much more sense last night.
No, because Mary kind of had me confused. I was with her, then she lost me. Then she
Mm-hmm.
explained. Then she got me back, but then she went back on that and got me lost again. I like the trees. I love the woods, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be in the woods. Okay. Kody said, okay, my apologies. I just I was giving you what you wanted. She's all, I never said that's what I wanted. But I love the woods. But I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, yep, let's go. Mary's
My
got to go.
problem with Mary is, and if Kody had explained this to her, okay, so you love being up in the trees. So don't your dumbass know that we're gonna have to cut down some of them trees to fit your stupid house in there? You're not gonna be in the dark. They're gonna have to clear some of those trees in order to build a house in there. It will be a lovely spot.
Right.
It will still get sunlight because you are not moving to the dark side of the moon. Idiot.
And
Oh my God. I find that I was hoping Mary would get out of that space she was in last season where she was just being a pain in the ass in every aspect, in every situation. Like
mm-hmm.
it was a desperate need for attention. I thought she was a little bit better this season, but last night I was just completely over it. And I was completely over Kody because his solution is to just agree with everything, but that's what got you into trouble in the first place. And Kody has been known to make assumptions and decisions for these ladies without first consulting or even
Mm-hmm.
determining what they want. And he's not
Right.
used to being called out on that. Oh, open an
Mm-hmm.
RV park. They should.
Right.
Because
Good.
you
That's a
know
good.
what? Or
Yes.
store your U-Haul there, like how they doing. Oh my God.
I
Um,
mean, get some Winnebagos. Maybe
yeah.
that would be kind of lit. That's just,
Mm-hmm.
they got too many kids though. That's the only downfall to get too many kids.
I don't know. That whole conversation was irritating. And then the holding of the hands at the end when they were walking back,
That was
I
annoying.
I felt like all of them were like, I don't want you to touch me because you have cooties. Like it was just so ridiculous. Um I
My thing is this: I was rooting for Mary. I'm like, you know what? You getting the short end of the stick. You seem to be the odd one out. Let me just root for you. Let me just hope better for you. And then this episode came, and I'm like, well, there that went, just out the door. Like, you're mad because Kody gave you what he thought you wanted. You probably had
Mhm.
the same conversation before, so he took that conversation or conversations. I'm like, you know what? Let me just give her what she wants. We have this. This fits perfectly. Cool. We're good. But then you're gonna go back and tell this man, well, I never said I wanted this. This is not what I want. What?
But she did
Okay.
bust him though, because last year he came down really hard on her, accusing her of not wanting to be in the trees. That's why he put her up by the road. But if she never said that, he never allowed her to talk last time. He just bulldozed over her. And yesterday, this was the only part that I was kind of happy with because Mary was finally vindicated. He accidentally admitted that he didn't
Mm-hmm.
consult with her. He
Right.
just said, I assume that's what you wanted.
Right.
That's never what she wanted. And it caused strife amongst all of them because he was being a bully.
True. But then she came back and said on this episode, like I just said, I love the woods, but I never said I wanted to be in the woods. I don't know what I want. I mean, ma'am, like you're giving the signal, kind of narrow it in. What do you want?
She's had 2 years to figure out what the fuck she wants.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
You are 50 with no children, ma'am. This should be an easy decision. I'm just saying, you are 50 years old, living by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and gonna get a nice house. What's wrong with you? I would know exactly what I want to do. Let's see, how far y'all away from me? Perfect. You know what? Y'all a nice little piece away. I'll
Mm-hmm.
build my house here. I'm good. Thank you.
I would do the woods personally because it's near the gas line. I would do the woods.
Right.
Um, it's close to the road, but not right on the road where he wanted to put her. Um, and I would do a little 3-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage. But Mary gonna want that 7-bedroom mega mansion like she
Exactly.
always do. But yeah, I don't know. They're never gonna get this project done. And I feel Kody's gonna sell it and sell it at a loss at that.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Come on now.
And I'm
I.
surprised that the U-Hauls are still there and nobody has like either broken into them or stolen them.
But they're kind of a bit of ways it seems. So I don't think people go that far, and they probably know who they are. So it wouldn't be it'd be too much of a risk.
I don't know. Okay, so what else happened in this? Oh, we saw that 2 months earlier, Mary and Kody went back to the therapist in Las Vegas. I don't know why. Everything is still back in Las Vegas. They're always driving over
Mm-hmm.
to Las Vegas. Um, this confirmed that neither one of the two of these like each other. But for some reason, Mary is still holding on, and Kody is like, she's like almost dead to him at this point.
Exactly. It's done. It's toasted. Get over it. Let it go.
But then why is she still there?
So a little bit of check. She ain't trying to have no job.
No, I know why she's staying, but
Oh,
why
okay.
doesn't Kody just remove her from the family? Or is this a permanent thing? Like, no, it's not permanent because they can get divorced. Well, they already got divorced.
Mhm.
I just don't understand why she's hanging on.
Yeah. There's no real point. There's no real point for her to stay there if she's miserable.
So then if he hates her and not hates her, but basically says their relationship is over, what is the point of keeping her there? Because of course Mary's staying for a check. that goes to Mary. That has nothing to do with Kody. He could bring in a different wife and kick out Mary. I don't understand why she's still there. Their child is grown. You don't like her. So why keep her around? You don't even visit her. She's not even in the rotation anymore.
Mary's family in the principal, i.e., church, is very high up. But she divorced Kody, which she already has. If she leaves, then she gets basically shunned by everybody in the church family, included. Oh.
But she was
Mm,
going to leave with the catfish. Which leads
mm,
me back to my original assumption. She's staying because she needs an anchor. Kody is an anchor right now for her, whether he wants her or not. If she goes back on the computer and she finds another person that's interested in her, and she transfers, her attention to that person will be her anchor, and that person will give her the strength to leave.
mm-hmm.
I think she needs to work on herself so that she could just walk away, because there's no more legal bond to Kody.
Right.
The only bond she has is to the accounting department at TLC, who signs her paycheck.
Yeah, because they're just making each other miserable, which is making the group
Mm-hmm.
miserable. Mm-mm-mm.
Wait,
This
neither
is
does
this is a trip.
Christine. She want Allison. Christine looks like the next one. Christine is
Yeah.
just like, as soon as I heard she had a job, I was like, uh-oh. She's saving up a rainy day fund. I would not be surprised. She is flippant. She is outspoken. And she, like, when she said, "My womb is closed," I was like, wow, okay. Good girl.
Mm,
Let's see. What did you make of Kody saying that he's leaving it to the wives to work out the family issues because he's sick and tired of trying?
I'm not sure where he's tried, but okay. Um, I think that's best. I think everything should be
Mhm.
left to the wives in this situation. They have more sense, and where they are financially, you need brains to get you out of this. So I think he made the right decision.
Mm-mm-mm. I was surprised when Kody said he feels like he takes the blame for most things that happen in the family. As the head of the family, you should.
Yeah, that's what head of the family is. You take the good and the bad.
And considering that he was making all the decisions, good or bad, mostly bad, you know, why is he surprised that he's taking the blame? They were your decisions.
Exactly. He could go now. I think they can find a new husband.
I didn't like his apology to Mary. I really
That was
didn't.
terrible.
He could have kept his mouth closed.
Exactly.
It would have went over a whole lot better. Um, did you notice when he says that he thinks the wives are enjoying the independence? I don't think he liked that. I
Oh
think
no,
he
he hates it.
notices that the power structure is shifting, and there's nothing that he can do to change that. And the worst thing he did was leave Utah,
Yeah.
because it got the women out of the polygamous bubble. It got them into independent lives. It got them into new jobs. It got them, uh, oh my God, he's lost it. Um, Robyn thinks that Mary and Kody's relationship influences everyone. No, I don't. Nobody gives a rat's patootie about their relationship anymore.
Mm-mm. They see what Robyn and Cody's relationship is, and they've accepted it. They're just irritated with the simple fact that their lives aren't what they were, because
Mm-hmm.
they see the favoritism, and they were mad about it at the beginning. But I think now what they're coming to realize is like, okay, this relationship pales in comparison to our financial and living situation at this point. So we don't care about you. That's basically what it is. We don't care about you. We gotta get this. We gotta get these houses in order. We gotta get these finances in order because we in trouble.
Do you think that the sister wives root for each other's relationships with Kody?
Root is a. I mean, I don't think they want anything bad to happen to them to it per se, but they're not really. How can I put it? They're very indifferent. Like they really just don't care because I think they're mad right now because they start to realize what has been done, like the constant moving, the constant money losses. We have to remember that the constant moving is stressful. The money loss is stressful. Then you have to move again. You lost money on that. You're buying things you really can't afford, and then your TLC check got cut severely, which puts you further in arrears financially. Plus, you have a lot of small children. Non-adult children, I'll say, and they just can't. They're really at that point to where we can't handle this no more. We got to take control because what he's doing is leading down a financial road of ruin. A financial road of ruin. Sorry.
Oh my God. Well, that was this episode, Sister Wives Season 15, Episode 3, Robyn the Peacemaker. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's look at a couple of comments before we sign off. Oh, sorry. You could go with Susan's.
I have to disagree. I think they blame him and Robyn. They make you think that way. Yeah, they blame them both, but I feel they don't care about the actual relationship between those two. Yes, yeah, oh yeah, they definitely blame them both. Of course, I would blame them both too. I'm in total agreement. But as far as the relationship itself, they don't care. All they care about is getting out of financial ruin.
Yeah. And then Lisa says Kody and Robyn should go on. She can still have kids unless he wants another wife to breed more children, in my opinion. I kind of agree with this. And here's why. Because Kody, you know how they say women, when they see babies, get broody? I think he's in a broody phase, and I think he uses kids to fix situations. And it's an extension of his masculinity. I would not be surprised if he starts looking for another wife for kids, which just totally flabbergasts me because you can't even run the family that you have now, but you would think that it's a good solution to bring in another body and procreate even more. It just something's not adding up for me. And even if he rotated out Mary to bring in somebody else new so that he can remain at 4 wives, it would still be like god awful because you're not fixing the root of the problem.
Right, which is him. And then whoever wife he brings in, she gotta have good credit because I mean where they're at.
Yeah. So guys, let us know what you thought about this episode. Let us know what you thought about our review. Leave your comments below. We read them and we do respond. We get the best comments on this show. So we're really interested to hear what you have to say. If you like the review, give us a thumbs up just because we asked you to. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the notification bell so you're sent alerts every time that we put out new content. And most of all, tell a friend. We're seeing lots of new faces in the chat, and we really appreciate that you join us both in the live show and even in the replay. We look forward to hearing your comments, and until next time.
Bye.